Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and are having a wonderful holiday season to this point. Today is December 26th, 2021, day after Christmas. So hard to believe it's already almost 2022. It's just how things go, particularly these recent years. Um, but speaking of 2022, means you think about resolutions and collecting game that's part of it too. So I'll speak on that after as the second topic of discussion. But the first, it's like I said. I've always said that part of the reason I wanted to do this series is to kind of pull the curtain back and kind of show you what the life is of collector, and because there's going to be the pickups, there's going to be this is what I got, this is here it is in the hand in the collection, and for every thing that we're able to get, there's plenty of stuff that we don't, and it's always the what you don't see, right? It's always those particular jerseys that as a collector, you do kind of sometimes it's just one of those, damn, how did I miss on that? Why didn't that happen? What are the reasons? Like I said, it's always about the decision making process. There's many different things that we're going to miss on. Sometimes it's just a funding issue, and sometimes it's just because you let it get away. And sometimes it's just there's so much out there you can only pick and choose, right? Um, is what it is. But um, it's weird because it's like some of the most viewed videos that I've done so far have been when I was showing at that point the full collection, of which been added to, but when I did the rack vid, each vid was a different rack, right? When I was doing football, showing all the football jerseys, the baseball jerseys, the basketball jerseys, and I think some of the most viewed and some of the most commented on, and it shows you just what a monster the NBA is. This is when I did, I think the one that got the most was the newer run, China run, Mitchell and the rack, the newer stuff, and also the old, the legendary racks, so the old run Mitchell and SNBA. But those got a ton of views and comments. I mean, even now people comment and stuff. And it's like those videos have been out there for a while. But yeah, it just shows that people see them whenever they see them. That's fine. It is what I don't. Nothing wrong with that. But it does. It's amazing to me that those are some of the most viewed and attention to videos. But it makes sense. I mean, I know a lot of us have done these vids and showing the whole collection and maybe of a player or a style of jersey. I know King Leo's done it. Rez, a bunch of art collectors have done it. Um, and you see other people doing it too. Some people would do, this is my collection of hockey jerseys up to date, and here they all are, and it's just cool, and I find myself watching a lot of them too, because it's like a collection, and you kind of get drawn to it like moth to a flame, right? It's, oh yeah, you're seeing the whole collection. This is it. This is cool. You sit back and this is this and this is this, and you do get kind of drawn to that. So I understand it. But again, you're in those vids. Just like anything else, you see everything that you have that a person has, but you're not seeing the things that they weren't able to grab unless they make mention. No, I wasn't able to get this. I'm still hoping to get whatever. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this series. I wanted to kind of show that, like, these are the misses. Gonna show the ads. I'm gonna show the pickups, as always. But I'm also gonna go over the stuff I wasn't able to grab. And in some cases, you might see when I don't get it. It's not the case with this one. I actually tried to film this video that night of, and I just things just kept happening. I couldn't quite finish it, and I knew, all right, well, let me just wait till after Christmas. I'll make it then. So recently there was one that got away, and it was a pretty high on my want list item to get, and it was my doing. It was my own fault. I had so many opportunities at it, and for one reason or another, I never went out, never got it. It's actually a jersey that's gotten away from me a few times, And this was also in my size too, so this kind of was just one of those double whammies of why in the heck did I not go after this sooner? Um, and there's a million reasons. There's like I said in a recent vid for this series, this time of year is real tough because there's so much that comes out. There's so much that put out on all these secondary market sites like an eBay, like a Poshmark, like a Macari, like a Marketplace, OfferUp. I mean, you name it, it's there because people know this is the time to sell stuff because people are looking to buy for gifts and then they get that holiday money and they're out buying and it's tough. There's so much that pops out. Plus the fact that with the NBA, they're doing their city editions and when the NHL was doing the retro reverse last year and they're going to do it again next season. So probably be about this time of year because they know this is holiday money. This is when people want to buy. This is when you sell. This is when you put out these collections of stuff. Same with the hats. Many different hat collections came out this time of year, right? Liz has been bombarding on the website with this set and that set and the other set. But it is a difficult time. It's both a great time but a difficult time to collect. And you think about it, Mitchell and Ness, for God's sakes, how many sales have they had? They have done more sales, none of which I could have moved on, by the way. Just saying, Mitchell and Ness. Maybe you just want to hold one until January or just do, you gotta come to me. You get sometimes Mitchell and Ness is best. We get on the same wavelength about these sales and work with the MightyFan schedule. Because that would be good. That would be appreciated. Right? My God, they had like 3 or 4 different sales in like the span of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I think King Leo took advantage of every one. Shout out to King Leo. But and shout out to him. He hit me up the other day. He's like, "Oh, that Barry Sanders, the flagship has it on sale." I'm like, yeah, but I can't move on it right now, King Leo. I'm in that time of my billing cycle. Like, oh wait, they just could do this in another week or two. They tasked me, but I know they always do the sale the week of the Super Bowl. So hopefully at that point. But yeah, this is a tough time, man. This time of year, it does get tough. And so I saw this jersey pop up months ago. I mean, we're talking, it could have been up there for about 5-6 months. Could have been like half a year. That's how long this has been there. That's how much of an opportunity I had. So again, I have no one to blame but me. This is all on me. I take full like Andy Reid would say, I take full responsibility. I take full responsibility. Camera over there. I take full responsibility. Good old Big Red, right? I take full responsibility. Why I let it get away, just many different reasons. There was just other stuff that kept popping up that I knew I had to move on. I mean, stuff like the city edition, right? Because I know how quick those darn things go, and then the secondary markets sit there; they're just outrageously priced afterwards, and I don't want to pay those prices for it. I mean, you're talking about swingman jerseys. I don't want to pay crazy money for swingman jerseys. So, and I know I get it every year. The Sixers and the Steph Curry. Those are the two of any. If I had to get just two, it's always going to be those two. They're collections within the collection, right? So I have to keep doing that. That's just one of those ingrained in my skull. This is what I want to do. So that made it tough. There were other things that kept popping up. And it's just one of those. I have an Excel spreadsheet, believe it or not. It's an Excel book. And it has various different pages. It's one page is just the most wanted, right? Mitchell and Ness. Old runs. And some not so old runs, but still ones that I would love to grab. I have another page on there that has a list, just a bunch of stuff. These are the things I want to make happen in this year or next year or whatever, right, as time goes. And then the ones at the very top are like, this is the one I want to move on. this month or next month, and they have a scale. Like, this is a 1 to 3 scale. How much this is the wanted. If I were only to get this one jersey this month, this is the one. Do I follow it? No, obviously. Because that jersey was on that list at the top with a 1 next to it for months. And I always thought this is going to be the one. And then no. Here comes this or that. It's hard for me to put the blinders. It just is. And not to say that what I got was bad. The stuff that I was going after, look, anything I get, it has meaning to me, And the stuff that I was getting were other top of the list things. So the item that I speak of, it was, as much as I like it, I always forget the year of because I don't go after all-star jerseys like that, right? So, but it's the all-star, it's the older run from the Peter Capolino days, Mitchell and Ness, the Rick Barry all-star, and it was the year that was in the Bay Area, so it had that look, like the front of it almost looks like the cable car jersey, and then the back I think just has the number 24 for Barry. And I always liked that jersey. I thought it was sharp, and that it's just one of those. It's plain Jane. It's nothing stitched. It's just all pressed on, which is nice. But just kind of no huge bells and whistles to it. But it's just a solid looking jersey, and I've had chances on it before. Just missed on one last year in Macari. Just missed on one. They actually made the rounds a little bit in our community. Never got to me, but it kept getting traded for others in different sizes, and it's like a ping pong game with that. I'm just sitting there going, well, I kind of want it. I don't have one to trade, but anyone want to sell it to me? No, it's just going. But that smaller one, it does me no good. I think it actually got. I think it got sized down. Actually, I think ultimately it got tailored to a medium. That doesn't help me. So not only didn't I get it originally, then it got tailored down. And the person who got it originally, it was my size jersey. It wasn't that person's size. He got it. Like, no. But he saw it first. He got it. It was on Macari. But this other one came up on eBay. And I kind of know the seller. I mean, he has a YouTube channel. He's got Instagram, and of course a store on eBay, as well as a brick and mortar store in New Jersey, I believe. And it's Top Shelf Kicks, and a good guy. Speaking of someone who kind of pulls the curtain back and shows you the life, he kind of goes into the life of being a seller, which is pretty cool, seeing all the stuff that he has to go through and the trials and tribulations, goes through all the flea markets and this and that, and people coming to his store trying to sell fake stuff. And some of it's kind of comical to watch, but very cool. Can't say I've seen every episode, but I check in where I can. I believe he's a fellow Eagles fan. We got a big win today. I know that the Eagles won and the Vikings lost, so we're in that 7th seed if the playoffs started today. But of course we got 2 more weeks, so we'll see. But good weekend for football. But no, so that's the seller that had this jersey. Now he wanted, I believe, $350, but best offer. Now, that's not a $350 jersey. Now again, I'm not. Hey, look, your jersey, you're gonna sell for what you want, right? I'm not hating on that. And he offered a best offer. Now, I probably could have worked with him. And this is one of those things. Now, that jersey, and there is no book out for what the value of these jerseys are. But this is just the MightyFan, look at what that jersey would be worth to me. And I would say I would go as high as probably $250. That's like a $250 value range for me. Because it's an old jersey. It's an old run. It is rare. You don't see it as often, but there's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's like this shirt right here. It's pressed on everything, and I like those. Particularly with football, I love the pressed on, name and numbers. But just with all that, I probably wouldn't go over 250 on that one. That's just not something I think I would do. But I would, I'd probably push 250 for it. So I was like, and I'm like doing all this in my mind. I'm like, hey, maybe we can get down to that number. I can work with it. We can work on something. Try to find a happy medium, and I just never did. I never reached out, and it's again my fault, my doing. Raise my hand. Hey, is what it is. There was always that other thing out there. As much as I wanted this, as much as it, wanted this in my collection, it's kind of weird. I can't really explain it other than just saying, and I know I could have worked with it probably for the price. But again, when other things are popping up and they're at this price range, and then you see that number, and then I guess I got comfortable with that jersey because it was there for so long. I mean, it was there probably because of the price point, but it probably got lost in the in the cracks of eBay because it's not one of those that relists. It was just there. Boom, he listed as all of his other stuff. It's there. You see it, and you go, whatever you get, you get it. So it's just sitting. So I guess in that kind of aspect, I kind of got comfortable with it too, because it was there for a while, and it was in my cart on eBay for quite a while as something I was meaning to go after, along with other things. I got too much in my cart. I really do. My watch list is too many. I got a cart that's just... But at any rate, the cart are like the things that I really want to go after. I'm meaning to get this, and I probably should pay more attention to what's in there. But this was part of it. This was in that cart, meaning to go after. And it like I said, you see these other things, and there are other high items of want, that stuff that's high on my list to get, and you see the price point for that, you see that price point, she's like, oh, but I can get this and that, and okay, let me move on that, I can hold off on this for another month to get that, that would be like the first thing, and it wasn't. And then other things, it's just, for one reason or another, and I don't know why other than that. I just don't. And even I would like be talking with Slim, and every now and then I would bring it on that Barry All-Star. He's like, don't let that get away. I'm like, I know, I'm trying not to be me with these damn billing cycles. I'm trying to get to the next one. Then the next one can, and then it didn't happen that cycle either, right? And it sold. It sold last week, and I knew because it was one of those things when you put things in your cart on eBay. So when you go to eBay, when you get in there, you see the cart and it has a number. It's like on the top of the screen. It's one of those little icons with the little shopping cart. It has a number, and that number starts going down. Like, what ended? So you go on there, you do like the slow scroll. That's still there. That's still there. This isn't there. And you go to the bottom and it's ending. Now, sometimes something ends, it just gets relisted, you put it back in your cart. But I knew with that one, once it would end, it was gone because that top shelf kicks. When it sells, that's it. It's not like it gets relisted. Unless for some reason the person doesn't pay or what have you, something happens. But I knew. And I knew I missed my opportunity, and it was sitting there for so damn long. I had so many opportunities, and I just didn't. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen. And I think Slim, we know who got it, and I'm not like, listen, whoever got it, more power to them. Shout out, what have you. They didn't hesitate. I hesitated. I was too slow in the trigger. They were trigger happy. Hey, they didn't mind pulling it. I was there was just too many other things that kept popping up. But see, I started getting a little nervous about this in recent weeks because it started popping up in our groups. Not that particular one, but like J-Dub had a picture. He was doing some mad scientist thing with his, turning into another player. And you had, I think it was Nostalgia Boy, had a picture of him, one of his selfies with wearing that jersey. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, well, this is like a big billboard right now for that jersey. This may draw more attention to, because you know how it is. You're on these groups, you see something, and you start thinking, oh, that's a nice one. Let me see if I can find it, right? And you go looking. And yeah, sure enough, like within the week, it was gone. It was gone. And someone else within our community picked it up. It wasn't me. I let the damn thing sit there for too long, and I felt like, well, I say I felt horrible, but I felt like disappointed, in myself. Like what was I? Why did I let that happen? Why didn't I just make the move? The easy answer is because there's always something else. That price point that may have gotten in my mind. It played tricks. I don't know. It's a weird mystery of life, and within the collection, I like it's there's certain jerseys that I have had so many opportunities at, and just didn't, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. Now it's not up there with Dion. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of people might know the reference, but so the '89 red, the original run, the limited run, '89 Falcons rookie Dion Sanders was my white whale jersey for quite a while. That one, when years ago, slipped through my fingers so many times, so many just dopey ways of not getting it. And it became just this must want. This is like the one of the most wanted jersey for me, and I finally got it. And it was like winning the Stanley Cup. It was like that was my big reward. Getting that jersey. I was so excited, and it's one of those things. But I will say this too, and it's just weird how this works. It's like there could be the most highest wanted jersey ever that you see, and you get it, and you put it on the hanger, and you show it, and do a YouTube video, a pickup video. You put it in Jerseys, Kicks, and Lids, or any of those other groups on Facebook, right? You put it on Instagram, you do all this and that, and you put it in the rack. And it's just one of the jerseys on your rack, and then your very next thought is, okay, what's the next one to go after? That's what it is. It's a never quenching thirst for this, and it's hard to explain it for people who don't collect, but there's a mentality that we're never satisfied. You can have the most rarest thing, the jersey that so many people are like, oh man, how did you get? I want that, whatever. Oh my God, greatest thing, greatest collection. But we never stop looking. Once once you have it, you show it, you wear it, you're happy to have it, obviously. Listen, there's no doubting it. But it goes on the rack with everything else, and then you're looking for that next thing. I mean, I guess if I had like the most, I want this jersey right now, what the number one with a bullet jersey is for me right now is that Love You Blue Billy White Shoes Houston Oilers jersey, Mitchell & Ness. Seen it one time on eBay, and I should have gotten it, and then I didn't some years ago. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have that jersey, but I know I get that jersey. I can get it like next week. One can pop up and I can grab it. No, look, I got this. Billy White Shoes, the blue one. There, how rare, and show it and be all happy. And what's going to happen? It's going to go with the other Oiler jerseys. It's going to go with the white Billy White Shoes jersey with the other Oiler jerseys in my collection, and then I'm looking for the next jersey. You're never satisfied. It just, and I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the mentality. You can find your white whale of jerseys. You can find your most wanted, and yet the very next instinct is to look for the next thing, and that's what it is. It's not saying you don't appreciate it. It's nothing like that. It's just, this is what it is. That you're always thinking of that next item. What do I want next? What do I want to find next? And that's just how it is. That's the mentality of the collector, and it's it's a very kind of interesting life in a way, because there's just it's just you're driven for this, and that's what it is. And it doesn't matter what you collect. There's sneakerheads that do it, the hat game, the jerseys, of course. People collect sports cards. People collect comic books, action figures, old toys. What have you. You just never. You can have the rarest of the rare, and it won't stop. You'll just keep looking for that next thing, that next thing, that next thing. It's just that drive, And that's what it is with that I have with the jerseys. More so with the hats. I would say with the hats too. There's certain hats that I just go nuts trying to get, and then it's like once I get it, it goes with the others. Like that saw puppet hat that I got from the Hat Club exclusive. I wanted that thing so bad. Looked every day I was looking for it. I finally found it. I was super stoked to get it. I just love it. I have it, but it's part of the collection. It's in with everything else. You know, it's just how it is. It's hard to completely explain it, but that's this. It's just other than it is a never-ending thirst for what we're looking for, um, and so the berry, it's just one of those things. I let it hang there too long, and I knew I was doing it, and it was one of those things I couldn't couldn't quite get to the point where I was going to make a move, and I kept wanting to, and it just there was one block after there was always, so I guess that one at the end just wasn't meant to be for me. It just as simple as it was, just make the offer, reach out to Top Shelf Kicks, make an offer for the thing. It's like all these holiday movies right now, the Christmas Story movie, when he couldn't figure out to tell the Santa Claus about he wants the BB gun. And he like settled on the football. Oh, what's a football? Oh yeah, and then he stops himself. Wake up, stupid! Wake up! Right? That is my favorite part of the whole movie. And he's crawling back up the slide. Santa's looking at him like, oh crap. And he says what he wants, and he'll shoot you right, and he kicks him down there. That's the best. When he kicked him, kicked him back down the slide. It's like I have to watch every time I see that movie. I have to get to that part. Every year, I have to see that part where he's with the Santa Claus. That whole scene when he gets on the laugh and and he kicks him down. Ralphie, oh, that was the best. That was the best. To me, that's the best part of that movie. So I have to see that part every year. And I can skip the rest of the movie after that. I have to see that. It's just one of those weird traditions for me. But I love that. I love that scene so much. Just everything about it just works, But no, I digress from that. So this gets away. But it is what it is. Opportunity lost. But I also was able to grab a couple things. Shot the Snacks. He was selling some stuff. I made a move. See, I made a move on that. I didn't. Barry All-Star didn't happen. But 72 All-Star. I got All-Star in mine now, right? 72 Steve Carlton, the powder blue, chain stitched everything. Love it. Thanks again, Snacks. And also the 93 Mitch Williams. Those will be coming my way. 2 Phillies jerseys to add to the Phillies collection. I do have the rookie Schmidt. I know Snacks is hoping to get one someday. I hope you do, Snacks. I know you will. You'll find one someday. I'm glad to be able to pair those two up. The 272s. It's funny because it's weird. The Mitchell and Ness is like some of their newer stuff become some of the ones that it's like, damn, man, this just came out like a few years ago. Why is it so hard to find? But some of them, yeah, they could be a little annoying. And for whatever reason, those the 72 Phillies, you don't see as often as, just the other, your 1980, your 1976, 83, the various years they made with the powder blues or whatever. But Snacks, I know you'll find that rookie Schmidt. Just keep looking. One will pop up. Just as I'll get that All-Star Rick Barry someday. And that Love You Blue, Billy White shoes. that was the worst. That, of all the ones that got away from me, that one probably, because of the rarity, and because I do like Oilers jerseys, I don't know why. That was, and then thinking back that I could have probably gotten it, that just made it worse. When I figured out, but this was the way I could have gotten it. Oh. That really, yeah, that one stunk. That was probably the toughest one in more recent years. That, but no, so if it was that one, I would have probably felt worse about it. But the Rick Barry All-Star, it is one that I see like once or twice a year, So I can't say that, I'm just never going to have another shot at it. I will. And I would hope that after this, I would know, okay, let's just move on it. Right. Let's just not wait, next time, not dawdle too long on it. Yeah, it is one I'd like in the collection. So hopefully I'll have another opportunity sometime soon. And the person who got, shout out to them. I mean, they didn't hesitate. I hesitated. And in this game, hey, you hesitate long enough, that's it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna bite you, and that's what happened. So I just thought I'd make mention of that. Tell you a little tale about that All Star Rick Barry that got away. I don't know, Rez. Something about those Barry area jerseys with me, huh? The Rick Barry Sharks jerseys. How do I not have a Sharks jersey? I have no idea. That's another mystery of life. And speaking of that, it brings me to my next topic and my final topic, and it's going to be the New Year's resolution. And I would start in 2022. I would like to be more proactive with getting more hockey jerseys in the collection. Hockey's been one of those sports that I've got in, and then I started doing other things with other sports, and hockey is the jerseys or sweaters, if you will. They're some of the best. The designs, the patches. Oh God, the patches on them. Oh, some of them are just outrageous, outrageously nice, right? The detail, just it's all there. So much going on them. Yet at the same time, and I have a nice humble collection. I have some real, if I do say so, I got some nice, bangers in the collection. Some ones that collectors would really like to own. I have a lot of Flyer jerseys, of course, dominate the collection. I'm a Flyer fan first and foremost, so I have a lot of Flyer jerseys. But I guess because in a way I'm a bit seasonal. Like hockey is like you think about hockey jerseys this time of year, and once you get into the late spring and summer, even though like the Cup Finals is good, you don't really think hockey jerseys. You don't wear them that time of year, right? They're tougher to wear. They're long sleeve. They're heavy. You're not really gonna put on a hockey jersey for the most part. I've worn them in June because those years when the Flyers were in the Cup Finals, from '97 and 2010. But it was a little warm, but but the team was in the finals, right? But mostly, you're just not thinking it. So I think that's part of the reason why I never always just fully committed, right, to the hockey jerseys, right? I mean, to the point, I thought about this the other day. I think I got one hockey jersey all year, and it was the reverse retro Ovi, Alex Ovechkin Capitals jersey at Pro Image at Philly Mills Mall. I'm thinking. I think that was the only one I got this year because I think the other reverse retros I got towards the end of last year, but this year I think I only got one, and it's just one of those things. And in the group, you talk about how you kind of you get that like putting your brain to look for stuff, right? So in Kings of Throwbacks recently, you've had people, I mean, just showing one just amazing hockey jersey after another, and it became like a theme, right? People trying to outdo them each other, right, with these different jerseys, and it just got me to thinking again, man, I'm really lacking on them. I need to get more in this collection. I want to build that aspect of my collection a little more. I have a ton of football and basketball and baseball, and it's not to say I'm going to stop getting because I will get them. I think of all the sports, baseball is always going to be my the most passion, the one that I'll always look and sought after stuff for. It was one of the first I started collecting as far as a collector. It was baseball and football. Then basketball came along, hockey kind of in and out, but baseball was like the constant. And baseball is the one sport for collecting jerseys that I think I will be the most staunch to get the authentics. In the NBA, I can get swingmans, whatever. But the current stuff they do, I mean, let's face it, they don't make everything in authentics anyhow. I just want the jersey. I'll take the swingmans. It's all right, whatever. Football, the same thing. Current stuff, just the replicas. I don't have any on field for Nike. Most of what I have, all of what I have for that's replica. And a lot of the other stuff I have is replica, right? So that never really was a big thing for me. And even with hockey, I mean, you have your more, you know, on ice looking jerseys, and then you have the replica stuff. I have a lot of the replica. I have some of the on ice too, and you can tell the difference when you see them and the details and whatnot. But for me, even that is like, okay, if I have to get a replica, I get a replica. Whatever. Then I get the on ice. I get the. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But baseball's the one. Baseball's the one that has to be authentic. And I know the Nike price point sucks. it really does. I have one jersey. It's the Mookie Betts with the champs patch on there. Dodgers jersey. I don't have any other than Nikes. I want to get some, but the prices they're nuts, and particularly for certain teams, it's like, oh my god, what the heck are they doing? What are you doing, Nike? But it is what it is. For that, it still has to be authentic for me. It just does. Just the look of them, the feel of them. That baseball does it to me more than anything else. And for me, as far as the collection, it will always be dominated from the '70s on to current day. I'm just a Polynit fan. I just am. I mean, the wool flannels are awesome. All due respect, people have amazing wool flannel collections. I just have a handful. They're awesome. There are others I would like to get, both Mitchell and Ness, and also Ebbets Field flannels, but they just have never spoken to me the way those other eras do, and particularly the collect. It's the overall look, the feel. That's what's always caught my eye the most, and it will probably always be that way. Again, not thumbing my nose at the flannels. It's just that's what speaks to me, and we all collect the way we want. So that's what speaks to me. So the '70s on to current day, that's where the domination of the baseball collection will be to me. Um, so that will always be the way. Baseball will still be, when you look at the total collection for me, it will probably still be the dominant sport. But hockey, I do want to grow. I'd like to get that collection more, involved. And there are plenty of jerseys out there, styles and players and such that I would love to get. I know Rez is like giving me. I can just see his look, just like peering through the screen, like when you get a Sharks jersey. I will get a Sharks jersey. Rez, 2022. See, the thing about the Sharks, it's just a mystery of life, weird thing for me. I don't know why I don't own a Shark. I've always liked their jersey. I like their logo. I like their color, their colorway, everything. I have hats. The jerseys, I don't know. I think if I were to point to one thing, like the first Sharks jersey I want, it's like the original. I would like an old Nolan because he was like the first Shark I remember. And you used to see them more, and now it's like it's harder to find the ready-made ones. But I will continue to search, and 2022 it will happen. I absolutely I know, because I'm gonna be more focused in trying to get more hockey, and maybe that's part of the reason I didn't have a Sharks jersey. It wasn't where the focus was really leaning. I'm not saying fully it will be. I mean, I will continue to get the other sports. That's not gonna stop, particularly baseball. But hockey, there will be more contention to try to get more, to grow that aspect of the collection within my collection of jerseys. And Sharks is up there. I mean, that's one of the ones I want to get. And I want that old look first. That my first Sharks jersey, I want to be their original look. And if I were to pick a player, it would be Ola Nolan. And I'm one of those. Hockey is one of those sports that just you see more blank jerseys than any other sport. And I know there's plenty of ways to customize, and there's outlets you can go to. I really haven't researched it. I know one of the guys in our group takes his stuff to some place. Maybe I'll try to, talk to him. But I, I do like the already named and numbered ones. It takes one less thing to do. You just get it's already done. Here it is. So most of the ones I get will probably be named and numbered already, not the blank ones per se. But I probably will get into customization at some point, because it is cheaper. You can find blank jerseys cheap, and certain teams you can see so many of their blank jerseys, even the old stuff. But yeah, that's what I hope to be my first Sharks jersey would be an Nolan Nolan. But I mean, other than that, I mean, my favorite Western Conference team. I mean, obviously I'm a Flyers fan, but my Western Conference team, if I had to pick one, I'm sorry, Rez, but it's the Avalanche, and it's always been the Avalanche. The Avalanche was the team. My first non-Flyers jersey was a Joe Sakic starter replica jersey, and I still have it, and I still value that jersey. I always liked their look, like just the overall look of their jersey. The font is always just unique to them. That look, particularly older, from the 90s, from those cup years for the Avalanche, that particular home and away jerseys were always very nice to me. And so I had Sakic was the first, and I got the Patrick Watt, Mitchell and Ness did some years ago before they lost the rights to hockey to the NHL. And actually, that one they kind of got a little wrong because Mitchell and Ness get something wrong. No, they never do that. the Sasquatch shoulder patches, the foot logo shoulder patches are a tad too small. If you compare them to even replica the Joe Sakic I have, you can see it's a little difference in size. Still a nice jersey, glad to have it. It's the only Avalanche jersey they ever did, so it is what it is. I'm sure they would have done more if they still had the rights to the NHL, but and they never made a Sharks jersey too. It's kind of weird, like certain jerseys they never got to, like the Sharks, the Mighty Ducks, like jerseys that people will go crazy, to go grab to. It is what it is, though. Then they lost the licensing, but no, the Avalanche and the thing like that era would probably be what I would lean towards the '90s, like and into the 2000s, right? So those players, get those jerseys, Dean Heino, Adam Foote. I think the one Peter Forsberg who the Flyers probably shouldn't have traded when they made the move for Lindros, the old Quebec Nordiques many years ago. Let's throw at that Forsberg guy. Yeah. 47 years and counting that we haven't won a cup. Yeah. Maybe there's certain reasons. Some decisions were made. But no, his Avalanche, I have his Flyers jersey somewhere, but yeah, his Avalanche jersey, I think the one guy, it's because of the name. I always love the name. Adam Deadmarsh. Oh, I need a Deadmarsh. I need a number 18 Deadmarsh Avalanche jersey. Oh, that name was one of my favorite names growing up. To the point that, so back in my athletic days, so I used to go out back at the old house. So our driveway was shaped like an L. And the back of the driveway was kind of wide. It had the garage there, and you had the driveway, and we had our porch in the back for the house. So I used to take it was a 2-car garage, so I used to take a trash can, which was square shaped. I put it down in between where the two garage doors were, and that was like the net. Okay, so I had little cones in front of it, like the goalie, and makeshift goalie there, and so I would have the stick, and I would have a floor hockey ball, and I would be out there. I could never skate. That's the one thing in life I never did. I could never skate, but I could do the floor hockey. So I would go out there shooting around, and in your mind, you're acting like different teams, like the Flyers, whatever, and the Avalanche. There was just certain players that I was like, Deadmarsh takes the shot, because I love that name so much. I never had his jersey. Mystery of life, right? Never even had a shirtsy of him. But I wanted an Adam Deadmarsh jersey. It has to be an Avalanche. I know he was on the Kings, but the Avalanche, that's the one, number 18. That would be a meaningful one, just for the name. Always just love that name. That's just such a cool name. But, Rob Blake, there's so many players. I know, I didn't win there, but, Teemu Solani was an Avalanche for a while. Paul Correa. Ray Bourque would be another one I want because I have his Bruins jerseys. I have his Avalanche jersey. That's the one he won the cup with. But just many players from those teams I would like to acquire. So probably if there's a team in the West that would dominate, sorry, Rez, probably won't be the Sharks. It would probably be the Avalanche. It's because the feels are there for those teams. But I will have Sharks. I will have Sharks jerseys. I promise that. And it won't be just one, because you know me. It's never just one for a team. There's multiple. I will say this, though. I think the one team that I hate more so than any other is the Devils. For me, it's the Devils. I know many Flyer fans it's the Penguins, and I get that. That's the big with Crosby. I understand interstate rivalry. I get it. It's a very good rivalry. It really is. I probably will have some Penguin jerseys though. Festive's giving me a look. Oh no, I'm getting the glare. Keep them away from Pet Festive. Um, but I do have Lemieux. I already have a good collection of Lemieux jerseys. But I want the Robo Penguin. That's the one I don't have for Lemieux, and I want one of those. But some of the others I probably will move on. But the Devils, I think that's the one. I have a Brodeur jersey, but I think the one would be the Christmas tree jersey. But that's the team that gave me fits back in the day, because the Flyers couldn't beat them in the playoffs. The Flyers, see, that's the thing. Like the bad memories are more so with the Devils than the Penguins, and I know more recently it's been the Penguins. But me growing up, it was the Devils. It was that trap. It was Brodeur. It was Stevens. It was those teams that just the Flyers just couldn't beat it. Like when the Devils had a lead in any game, it was over, because they played that trap, that system, and they won. And that's the team. That's the team that got me the most back in the day. Okay, so the wounds go more with New Jersey than it does with the Penguins. I'm sorry. It for me as a Flyer fan, that's losing that 3-1 series lead in 2000, that hurt. In home, Game 7 at home, losing that game, losing that series, the Flyers would have beaten the Stars that year. We would have won the cup. Damn it, damn Devils. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Excuse me, going down memory lane. But yeah, hockey's definitely something I got to get more of, and I have to add more, do more with. And I have been remiss I haven't. It's just one of those things. It's a mystery of life for me. It just and probably player wise, I mean, I would like to get some more Ovi jerseys, just because to me he's the greatest goal scorer. And I know he's gunning for Gretzky's record, and I believe he'll get it. For me, he's the best goal scorer I've seen. Okay, I saw Gretzky. I saw him towards the end when he was a King, and in the Blues for that half season, and the Rangers. I mean, the Flyers beat him in the Eastern Finals back in '97 when he was a Ranger. But so that wasn't prime Gretzky. Like, I didn't see the Oilers Gretzky, the early Kings years Gretzky. He was still really good, but he wasn't like that Gretzky. Same with Lemieux. I saw him towards the end. I liked him, but didn't see prime Lemieux. So for me, as far as a goal scorer is concerned, Ovechkin's been the best. And I know I don't know. I know it rubs people the wrong way, like the way he celebrates after every goal, but I like that. That's emotion, and I get it, man. He's the best at what he does. It's like Steph Curry hitting threes, right? Steph Curry's the best at hitting threes. Ovechkin to me is the best in my, and I saw Reggie Miller and Ray Allen and Curry, and Curry he's at the top, not just because he has that record, but just at the pace he gets those threes and the way he shoots those threes. Like, no one does it like Steph's done it. And to me, in my lifetime watching Ovechkin, and believe me, as a Flyer fan, we've seen plenty of him, including in the playoffs. Right, he's in our division. So I've seen him from a rookie on, and I've just always been impressed with his goal scoring prowess, right? Just and the fact that he gets so hype after every goal, it's like he's a kid, he's still in this, advanced age. Every time he scores, he gets excited, and it's just one of those things. Not everyone enjoys that, and I get that. It's like people don't like Steph chewing on the mouth guard, but it's what it is. The guy's excitable when he scores, and it's kind of contagious. It's like it's just one of those things. I'm not always happy when he scores, because he scored against the Flyers a lot of times, but besides that one year, a few years ago, when we held him pointless in every game, which was very rare. But I'm kind of hoping he doesn't get that record versus the Flyers whenever he does, if he does, pass Wayne Gretzky on the all-time goal-scoring list. But the guy's been a treasure to watch scoring goals. And yeah, I mean, so I have one jersey. I'd like to get a few others. There's some other styles I'd like to get. Yeah, it's it is what it is. It's just one of those collections within the collection. Will I ever have as many Ovi jerseys as I do Steph Curry or Jordan or Iverson? Probably not. But if I can have like 5 or 6, in the collection, and they're all different, they're all, something there, that's different with them. That would be kind of cool if they have a patch or something. Part of the history. So that's probably going to happen. Like I said, there's some other different style of jerseys out there that I would like to get. We talked about the Sharks. So the Sharks will happen. There's other teams too. There's other teams I don't have that I would like to get their jerseys, like the Maple Leafs. There's quite a few Maple Leaf jerseys out there I would like to own. I don't. Matthews is a player I like watching, so I'll probably have a few of his jerseys. Various jerseys. They have that St. Pat's jersey they wear. That's unique. So I'd like to get that someday. I'd like to get a Maple Leafs jersey with the final season of old Maple Leaf. That patch is just so gaudy. Get one of those on there. As I said, hockey knows how to do it with the patches. They do it better than I think. Baseball's up there, but hockey's right there with them. And because there's so many different spots on the jersey that they can put the patch. So, yeah, there's gonna be an influx of hockey jerseys with me over the next however long. Again, not to say I'll stop going after the other, because I'll still get them. I'll still go after the other sports, particularly baseball. But yeah, but hockey, like I said, I want to grow that collection. I want that I'd like to improve on that. So we're gonna make that happen. And you blame the other guys in the group for that, because they've been just very influential with that, showing all that stuff, all those different hockey jerseys. And there's many different collectors here on YouTube. I know Twisted Rooster is one of them that just always shows great stuff. And not only that, he'll showcase other people's collections. And it's just cool to see all the various different, styles of jerseys and different people's different collections. It's always cool to see. I know we have many great hockey collectors in our community that have some just amazing stuff. And I know those jerseys don't come cheap. I know that some of those jerseys are just pretty penny, because hockey jerseys, depending on the jersey, can really set you back. And I'll tell you this, hockey collectors probably go the craziest when it comes to spending particular jerseys. That's why I think my best friend for collecting is going to be the Buy It Now auctions with the best offers. Because trying to go up against some of these collectors in auctions, I don't want to have a defeatist attitude, but I don't know how many of those I'm going to be able to win, because hockey jersey collectors, the deep pockets just, it's something, man. They will spend crazy amounts on some of these jerseys, particularly the ones that are already done up, player name and number, patches, everything. They do go nuts. And I've seen the end prices of some of these auctions, and it's my God, it's just, But hey, they have a love for it. They want it in their collections, so they will go to the depths that others might not take to secure these jerseys. But it's all good. Hey, if you have a passion, you have a passion. Hat goes off to you. If you want it that bad, you're willing to pay that type of price. You really want it. So, but I do. I hope to grow that aspect of the collection, get more hockey jerseys in, and take you along to ride with me as I do that, including the Sharks jersey. Rez, you're gonna be happy. When I get one, Rez is gonna be finally. I know, right? King Leo even has some jerseys, but you know it's bad. All due respect, King Leo, when you know it's bad when he's getting jerseys, he can't pronounce the players' names. You know that's when you know. I I'm sorry I had to King Leo. King, hockey King Leo. Some of those names in hockey, I'm warning you now. You might just want, if you get some of these jerseys, just name the team. Trying to say some of the names. I know it's tough. Hockey's probably one of the tougher ones to pronounce names. But well, hey, shout out to King Leo. He comes up with all these amazing different items that he's grabbing, and yeah, and he's showing how you can wear jerseys too with the the tutorials. He does great work though. I mean, this is the sizing of these jerseys. Yeah. So every time I see you want to do curls every time. You just build up that arm strength. But shout out to King Leo though, honestly. He does amazing work and he puts a lot of work into his videos. So make sure if you haven't already done so, subscribe to him and leave those likes. And for all of us collectors, this is what you want to do. Right? So many out there. There's too many to name. I know we've had, the circle that we have, but there's so many others out there that do great videos on a daily basis, a weekly basis. And, it's great to see. It's great to see. No matter what you collect, what your focus is, it's always great to see, the additions and the collections and, making those vids. I always say this, anybody can do this. Every now and then you get one of the guys on Facebook, putting it out there. Hey, I'm thinking about doing a YouTube video. What do you guys think? Always, yeah, go for it. This is the easiest thing to do. If I can stand in front of the camera and ramble on for an hour about Jersey, anybody, I'm not saying go on for an hour like me. I just keep going. I'm like the Energizer Bunny with these videos, right? But anybody can do this. Just put out videos, show your collections, talk about what your passions are. It's easy to do. Anybody can do this, believe me. This is one of the most simplest things that you can do. In fact, it's weird. I find it easier to do videos than to take pictures. And we all know. Like I'll be sitting on jerseys. I haven't taken any pictures. Put them on Instagram, every this and that. You'll see them on YouTube most of the time before you see me post a picture of one on Instagram or in the groups or anything. It's really not where my mind goes when I get something in. I'm always thinking video before I am picture. That's just what it is. That's how my mind goes. And I'm not saying everyone has to do it that way, but it's very easy. What I am saying is it's very easy to get on YouTube, to make a channel and put videos out there and just talk about your passion for it. And hey, believe me, if it's easy to talk about something you have a passion for. God knows I do it for an hour. I really didn't think this video would be this long, but you get going. I had a couple topics that I wanted to talk about in this one. So, but it's easy to do, and I welcome anybody to do it. Put their channels out there here on YouTube and be part of the YouTube community for Jersey heads or for whatever you have a passion for. Very easy to do, and anybody can do this. It's one of the easiest things in the world to do, believe me. But anyhow, I've rambled here for an hour, a little less than an hour, but by the time I'm done, it'll probably be an hour. But thanks for tuning in as always. This is yet another episode of In the Life. I'm going to have one for Season of the Fan for the Eagles. I've been remiss a couple weeks, but we've had a couple wins, so have a few things to talk about there. And looking ahead to next Sunday's game against the football team again. So we're going to see, how things go there. But anyhow, good stuff good stuff as always. Thanks for watching. Keep leaving those likes. Keep hitting that subscribe button if you already haven't done so. Hit the bell icon so you're notified to all future content from yours truly here on this channel. Shouts to all of you. Happy holidays to everyone. And if I don't make a vid before that, which I probably will for the season of the fan series, but we'll see. Have a very happy New Year 2022, and the collecting keeps going. I have my eyes on something that's tomorrow. Don't know if I'll get it or not. It's an auction. We'll see. And you never know until the last seconds with those. But we'll see what happens, and I'll alert you to what happened with that in the next episode of In the Life. All right, everyone, take care.